10 seconds slower than marathon pace, and then 10 seconds faster than marathon pace for these next 2 sets of miles. This is crunch time. What is up guys, Andy Forrest, Team Runner here, and this is week 2 of the Sub 240 Marathon Training Series. So welcome back to another video and another shoe review. Combined, we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone today, getting a speed test and long run test done and dusted in the Vomero, and talking all about week 2's marathon training series. Reason being, training's limited this week due to Christmas. I'm having 3 days off, so we're cramming everything into the front half of the week, and I'll be back out on Sunday, which we'll talk all about shortly, because once we've done this workout, we'll go back and talk about how the week has done, what we've been doing, etc, etc. But I'll also update you on how the shoes performed, because it's a 12 miler today. We're going from a progression run of 7:30 per mile down to 5:50 per mile. Well, that's the goal, and we're progressing every 2 miles. So we're going 7:30 for 2 miles, 7:10 for 2 miles, 6:50 for 2 miles, 6:30 for 2 miles, 6:10 for 2 miles, and 5:50 for 2 miles. So it should be interesting. I'm already working a little bit harder than I should be, A, because of how miserable the weather is, but B, I started uphill. I decided to get some trail action in the first half of the run, where it's not as taxing, and then we'll drop down to the industrial estate for the last section to focus on that speed and see if we can get to that magical 5:50 pace. Anyway, I'm going to focus, get my breath back, and I'll touch base with you when we're a little bit further in to this workout. Okay, it's probably going to be a bit of a wet screen. 6 miles in, we've done the 7:30s, 7:10s and 6:50s. All about 5 seconds a mile quicker than the target. Now we're on to the 6:30s. I'm just coming off the trail, but I've got one last little hill to get up before we do. So I've got to try and maintain a relatively sensible pace without working too hard, and then make it up a little bit on the down onto the industrial estate, and then we'll see how these next few go. Okay, so that is the easiest of the work done per se. 6:30s are done, 8 miles in, 4 to go. 6:24 and 6:25. Top on the pavement. As I just pressed record to record this clip, the cover of the battery fell off, so I had to stop quickly for that one. But overall, now is the hard bit. 10 seconds slower than marathon pace, and then 10 seconds faster than marathon pace for these next 2 sets of miles. This is crunch time. Okay, it's crunch time. 6:06, 6:07, 2 miles to go, sub 6 pace. Oh, this weather's killing me. Whew, there we go. Workout complete. 6:01 and 5:53. A bit frustrating on that 11th one because I was chugging along at 5:55 pace quite nicely. There was a post box in front and a Land Rover just swooped up onto the pavement in front of me, blocking the pavement, and a lady just got out of the car. I went, "Oh, sorry, love." And I was kind of like, "You will be. You cost me a beautiful progression run on Strava." But so roughly that was around 5:55 pace. I had to stop for a few seconds. I thought there's no point in trying to bust the gap to get it under 6 because I want to finish strong. And we did. 5:53 into the wind, uphill. Really solid effort. Felt relatively in control of all of that. It was only until really the last couple of miles where it started to hurt, and there was 2 miles left. So it was very, very solid workout. Shoes did great. Again, we make a big deal about the weight. I am guilty of that. But I think it's actually more down to if you like the shoes or not. I really like these shoes. They're heavy, but I really like them. So we'll go back, we'll summarise the week, talk about the shoes, and we'll talk about some structure. And there we go, 12 miles of progression run complete. I think we all have to say that when you do a progression run well, it ends up being one of the most satisfying and rewarding feelings when you finished it. So happy with how it went today. We'll dive into training, talk about the shoes and talk about my structure very quickly. Before we do, I just want to take this opportunity to wish each and every one of you a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I hope you are able to do so with the best of your abilities, especially here in the UK and worldwide. We're all dealing with something that is completely unexpected this year and has all knocked us for six. I hope you can make the most of it and do your best to enjoy this season. All of your support over this year has been phenomenal, far more than I've ever expected. So thank you very, very much. So let's talk about the structure of this week and the training, how it's been. So the structure is going to be a 4-day week because we're having Thursday, Friday and Saturday off, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Although, as it currently stands, I feel a little bit claustrophobic because our tiers have now gone up in the UK and I kind of feel like I just need to get out. So I might end up going out Christmas Eve or Boxing Day just for an easy run or a moderate run, something I'll check with Chris, see what he's happy with. I don't know yet. That's how I'm feeling tonight. But we front loaded this week. K reps on Monday, feeling so much better about those. If you've been watching for a few weeks, you'll see the K reps I was doing at Lydney Lake. Within the 10K training, were around the 325 per K at best. That was at best we could hit. So this week's workout hitting 322 or 323 in some of them makes me feel really good. I actually felt really fit. Struggled with the floats a bit, was meant to float a little bit faster than I did, but on the whole, felt really solid. Easy run on the Tuesday and felt great. Again, took the Brooks Hyperion Tempo out that day. I've been using the Hyperion Tempo a lot over the last few weeks, got 130 miles in those. Really enjoying them at the moment. And then today you've seen the progression run, working to get an average pace around that moderate area, which is between 640 and 650. And we got 6:37 average pace for the run, which is fantastic. So feeling really good about that. As I said, easy run on Sunday, going to be enjoying Christmas. Might get out on one of the other days. We'll see how it goes. Now moving on to the shoe, the Vomero 15. How did it perform today on this combined speed test and long run test? Well, the reason I've combined it is simply because I'm not going to be doing a long run this weekend. I might next weekend, but we're really starting to put a shift in some of these long runs. And I don't really want this thing to drag into the long runs too much. I think they're a great, easy to steady long run shoe, but when I've got to pick up the pace in a long run, I just don't feel like, or I had a hunch that they weren't going to be as good as I wanted them to be in that realm. However, after today, I'm pleasantly surprised with how it felt. So we did a good distance, 1 hour 20 minutes in the shoe, going from a pace range of 7:30 per mile all the way down to 5:53 per mile, running on half trails, half road, and the shoe did really, really well. I'm very guilty, just like a lot of people, of complaining of weight and going, oh, it's too heavy, it's too this, therefore it's got to fall in to a certain category. But I really do kind of feel, as I'm testing more shoes, that that's actually more about how you enjoy the shoe, or if you don't enjoy the shoe, as to whether you're going to get on with it or not. Regardless of the weight, I really enjoyed this shoe. As I said, the airbag in the front is so much more prominent than the Peg 37. It's such a better version of that shoe for me. The Peg 37
was such a disappointment. It took about 50 miles to kind of really break in, and then the second half of my 100-mile testing of that shoe was half decent. This has been really good from the start. As I said, it's not a super shoe, it's not bowling me over with its wow factor, but what it has done is it's made me enjoy running in them. The airbag is really prominent in the front. It's just such a cushioned and plush ride, but I also at the same time had no objections with pushing the pace today, albeit it wasn't for a long period of time. But you know, running 605, 607 per mile, and then 601 and 553 for that 4-mile stint, it was doing a fair lick, and to be fair, it held up really, really well. So early impressions with the Vomero after, I don't know, what is it, like 15 odd miles? Really, really solid. So that just about wraps up week 2, a little bit early. Obviously, these episodes normally come out on the weekend, but with Christmas, I just wanted to get something out there and wish you guys a Merry Christmas and take you on a decent workout, because today was a good one to follow along with. I felt really good, really strong, and delighted that I could take the camera with me without it dying, which it has done over the last few days. If you enjoyed today's video, guys, make sure you give it a like, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel for weekly running content. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you on the other side. Until then.